What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon, and I am still waiting for my Satyr. We are going to be talking about The Eye of Minds by James Dashner. So I want to preface this by saying that Dashner is who wrote Maze Runner, and I am actually a fan of the Maze Runner movies, and I don't like the books. That's probably the only time you'll ever really hear me say that, but I did not like reading the Maze Runner books. I thought they were slow, the pacing was all over the place. I don't think that the characters were realistic, they weren't believable, but in theory, I really liked Maze Runner. I loved the idea of it. I think that's why I liked the movie, because the world is super cool. I'm still invested, like I want to know what happens, but I just cannot muscle through the book. However, when I saw Eye of Minds, it looked really cool. Like the premise of it being kind of like a Ready Player One, like a Tron type thing, just being in this like super immersive, like software type of world, and there being this like cyber terrorist that's like hijacking people's minds and they're waking up brain dead and that kind of stuff. Like it was just really interesting and I was really excited to read it. But very quickly, it became apparent that what I don't like is James Dashner's style, because it suffers from all of the things that I think Maze Runner suffers from. Our characters are just not realistic. I don't believe them. I don't believe their motivations. I don't think they act the way that they should be acting, especially in the context of their characters. I really hate how he wrote the Sarah character. I feel like she was such a throwaway character. I literally said, well, at least there's not like a romance. And then all of a sudden, for one chapter, he throws in a romance, and then like it was all for nothing. Like he only did it to make her character meaningful, I guess, like to give her something else to do, and that just made me so irritated, and that was just like the last straw for this book. And the pacing was all over the place. The beginning of this book felt different from the rest of this book, and it was weird, and like we get this reveal at the end, and I thought this was going to be a standalone book, and it's actually like a whole trilogy. I don't understand how that could possibly be, because there's nothing else here, in my opinion. The story ended, it was final, and I'm like, well, at least it did that, and then no, apparently it didn't. So it just kept doing all of the wrong things for me. And granted, I am actually reading Ready Player One right now. I'm rereading it because we're doing a podcast about it over for Network 1901. And I had a hard time not comparing the books because they're so like similar in like premise wise, but like you really shouldn't do that, especially because Ready Player One is so beyond amazing. It's better than like a lot of books that I've ever read. So to be reading that alongside something that's similar to it, it was never going to meet that expectation, was already bad. And also, clearly I'm just not a James Dashner fan. I think I need to just stop trying with him, because clearly I'm not into his style. Again, his stories are amazing in theory. Like when I'm thinking about the premise of Eye of Minds and how like there's this crazy like all this crazy AI and like all of this stuff going on, and we're going like really deep into this like cyberspace type thing. It's really cool, and I like the way it plays with like what it is to be human and that kind of stuff, but it's not read that way. It's read with a really odd pacing, like things are kind of all over the place. Again, he invents this new language that he doesn't really tell you how to use, which is fine because you don't need exposition for it, but I kept finding myself forgetting what certain words meant, and that's probably because it wasn't holding my attention. And if it's not holding my attention, then that's a bad thing. It's not necessarily because I'm distracted, it's because I'm not paying attention to the book because I'm not enjoying the book. So that was just very, very unfortunate. I personally wouldn't recommend The Eye of Minds. If you were a Maze Runner fan, you would probably be an Eye of Minds fan, especially if you're like into Tron or any of that kind of stuff. But from a storytelling standpoint, I wouldn't recommend it because of all of these faults. It just falls so flat for me, and it's so disappointing because I feel like it really had a lot going for it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every Monday. That is everything I got for you today, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!